beauty junkie, welcome to my channel. Today we are getting into my Sephora Spring VIB 2021 sale purchases. I picked up 10 items, a little bit different from my basket video where I showed you what was in my basket for the sale. A little bit of change from what was in my basket in that video. So I'm going to be going over what I picked up. We'll do a little swatching, just a kind of an overview of what I purchased. I will be doing separate videos on the brands that I picked up in this haul that will include like a full-on application. If I were to do that in this video, it would be like 2 hours long, so we're just going to cut it short, do some swatching, and have a little fun. I try to go for brands that I don't see on sale that often, or things I just always wanted to pick up. So I picked up a variety of things, mostly makeup, a lot of eyeshadow, eye products, of course, a couple complexion, an eyebrow, one body product. I didn't pick up any hair products this time like I thought I would, and no lip stuff. So let's get started. I have a couple of Tom Ford palettes here. The first one is not new. It's an oldie but a goodie. This is the Shade and Illuminate palette in 0.5. This is the shade for fair skin. It's the lightest shade range they have available, and these are cream contour and highlight. I think this is contour. It might be bronzing. It looks a little bit warm to be contour, but I did a little bit of swatch. This is a really creamy product, and I think it's going to be a nice addition to my collection. And then I picked up, we'll get into swatches after I give you guys like a nice overview of what I picked up. I also have, this is not new, this is the First Frost Eye Color Quad. Okay, just looked this up, confirmed I got the right thing. I'm still confused about the naming because this is the Solei Neige Eye Color Quad. It says Solei, okay, but the name of the shade is First Frost, and it has that on the packaging on the outside, and the website has both names on there. So this is the First Frost / Solei Neige palette. I don't know why we have to make everything so hard. But this is what it looks like close up. It is super pretty, like way prettier than I thought it would be, and I never saw this palette in person before. So this isn't new, but I'm late to the game. So I'm late to the game picking it up, but I have no regrets. I have, this will be my third Tom Ford quad, and I really like it. I'll also show you some swatches on that. My last sort of quad, this is actually a quint. I got another Dior quint. This is my second one, and this is the famous $6.69 soft cashmere. And oh, this is super pretty. Take off this. It's like so taupe, but so pretty. Looks boring. Like all of these colors I'm about to show you are gonna look real similar. So I got another Dior quint. I got the Westman Atelier iPods. And these are little eyeshadows that are magnetized. Whoop. And this is not a new product, but wanted to try it. And each one of these little magnetic pieces have powder eyeshadow. The formula is really bouncy and has a little heart in there. This is the lightest shade, super white. But these are pretty neutral. There's also this color, and I got a chocolate deep brown shade. So a lot of similar shades with the eyeshadow. So that's it for the eyeshadow powders. I got 2 liquid products that you can use on your eyes. These are the new Danessa Myricks Colorfix creams, and they have different finishes. So I got a foil and a cream. And the foil I got in the shade Venus, and the cream I got in the shade Romance. And these actually go really well together. I'll show you that later. And that is it for the eye products. The majority of things I bought were eye products. And then for complexion, I picked up the Westman Atelier highlighter stick. This is the lit up highlight stick in Nectar. This is the new shade. I have it on my face and it gives a little bit of sheen, but this is super subtle. This is like a very natural makeup look. I thought I would have a little bit more, but this is the packaging. It is very luxe. I also picked up the Dior Backstage Face and Body Powder No Powder, and I have got the shade 1N. I think this is the lightest shade. It looks a little bit deep in the pan, and I opened this up last night. I saw a little bit of powder on the perimeter, which is never a good sign, and then I kind of went like this. It came out gently. I mean, nothing broke, but and it's all messy because I ended up hot gluing this back into the package so that it doesn't fall out again. Which was a fun little project that took me several attempts, but I think it's stuck in there now. It's raised a little bit from the packaging, which is never good, but I think it's going to be okay. Haven't even tried it yet, but it feels nice on my fingers. That's it for the complexion. No new foundations. I have a lot of foundations that have plenty of product left to them. And I got an eyebrow product just because I was curious. This is the Kosas Air Brow. I think they have several new brow products out right now. I have the shade Taupe. So this is a really cool packaging. It's like clear pink. And this kind of looks a little bit light for me. We're going to see this is like a taupe, kind of like a light milk chocolate shade. And it's a brow gel. And then I think the last thing I have to show you is my body product. This is the Necessaire Body Serum. And it's fragrance free, 150 milliliters, 5.1 fluid ounces. I have tried this a little bit. It's lovely. It's pricey. Glad I got it on sale. But this is a very universal product that any human can use, especially if you hate the feeling of lotion. So we're going to get into that. Those are the 10 products though. I do have a couple samples I want to mention that I will eventually try out in a video. I have the Givenchy Prism Libre Foundation sample. And I think this is pretty new. Let's see what colors I have to try. Probably this one is going to be the closest. Probably not going to be a great match, but that's okay. At least I can try that one out. Probably won't. I don't know. We'll see if this works for my whole face. I also got a perfume sample from Juliet Has a Gun. This is a popular perfume that I've never smelled, and it's one of those perfumes that is minimal. There's a whole kind of category of perfumes, minimal fragrances, that you can't really smell the scent, but other people can kind of smell it and you smell good. This is one of those scents. It has like particular... It's made of molecules. It's made of a single ingredient. If you've heard of eccentric molecules, they have like the same idea. So Juliet Has a Gun, not a perfume. Smells like nothing but makes you smell good. So I got a sample of that. So let's get into swatches. I will start out with the complexion stuff first. So I'll try the powder from Dior. This is the Face and Body No Powder powder. Not going to be super impressive. Powders are generally like a more of a descriptive thing. So I won't be able to really show you what this looks like on my skin. I will tell you that it feels really nice. It feels baked. People say this is similar to the Chantecaille Perfect Blur, I think, and it does feel similar. It feels a little bit more, like there's more moisture in there. I know that sounds funny. It kind of feels softer. Anyways, I'm curious. Don't love that the packaging fell out. Actually, I'll show you. So the product came out, right? On the back of it was this, I think this is the glue. This is what was attaching the powder to the palette. And on the back side is actually makeup. So the glue was actually sticking to the makeup. I don't know if that's the reason why it kind of came undone, but it's like completely silicone, and I just think it dried out. Really interesting how they glued that in there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out. I want to show you the Nectar Stick. I kind of, I really like the appeal of Westman Atelier. I think it's a little bit too natural for me. Like, I want things to show up on my skin. I was a little bit worried about picking this up because of how natural it's gonna be. Like, that's a highlighter. I know some of you on your like really natural days are gonna love this, but most people are just gonna see some wetness on your skin and not really much of a color. I don't see much of a color. It feels like a balm. So that's what it looks like, kind of rubbed in. So I'll go ahead and just put a little bit on my face. So I think some of you are gonna, you see that a little bit, right? It's super sheer. Like, honestly, I don't know that if you had to pick between this and the lightest one, I don't know if you're going to see a whole lot of difference. Maybe the sheen is a slightly different cast, but my face is a little red right now, but I just feel like this is a little bit too natural for me, for how, like, expensive it is. Westman Atelier is all about, like, luxury, clean brand. There's no smell, right? The packaging is very sturdy, luxurious, got the gold. But I feel like this highlighter is a little bit, just a little bit of a glow. I think a lot of people want something a little bit more than this. Eyebrow product. I'm not going to swatch this because I don't want to quite open it until I'm absolutely ready. But this is Taupe. I will feature this in a video. I like that you can clearly see when you're going to be out of product. That's always nice. Alright, let's move on to the Danessa Myricks cream products. So these can be used on lips, cheeks, eyes, really anywhere. So I'm going to start with Venus, and this is a foil shade. I wasn't sure what this was going to look like. It looked really pretty. It was a shade that has been selling out. I kind of put a lot, right? If you put a lot less, there's actually, it more looks like this. So there's not like a lot of color behind it. It's mostly like an amped up shimmery shade. Has got some shift to it. Let me just rub this in just a little bit. There you go. It's super pretty. It's kind of got this peach golden shift. to pink. You see that there? So like a liquid sort of multi-chrome effect going on. You could, if you want like a pink highlight, you could make it work. I think a lot of people are going to use this mostly on their eyes. If you wanted like a really pretty glittery lip, you could always use it on your lips. But I'm really glad I got the cream version of this product, and I picked this up in Romance. And this one definitely has pigment and is not as sheer when you spread it out. Like the foil. Oh wow, it's got some staying power. It's not really moving. That's always a good sign. Maybe a little bit of the areas that are still wet. But the Romance color is really pretty, but a solid color. Like it's not see-through. Like when you spread it out, you still get solid color. So that's really nice. And what I really loved is putting these two together. So Romance with a little bit of foil on top. You have bold color plus a little bit of this shimmer and a shift. Put a little bit more. I just thought it was really pretty together. I mean, can you imagine that on your eyes? So I love them separately. I really like them together though. So one of those products that you can easily, you know, combine shades to get a shade that you really love. And I think, I mean, Romance, I think could be pretty on your lips as well. So a lot of fun. These aren't huge, and I knew these would be a little bit small, but they're $22 a piece, but on sale a little bit less. But I like these kinds of products. If you like kind of finger painting, playing around, doing a monochromatic look, you're gonna like these. Just be aware there's a couple different formulas with them, and you're gonna want to change your expectations based on the formula. Alright, so this is super sturdy. Love that. Love a hard-working product. I mean, having something that like rub proof on your eyes is going to be especially great for people with oily eyelids, or you just, you know, you are wearing your makeup, you know. Love how much staying power that has. So I want to go ahead and swatch the other eyeshadow products I picked for y'all, so you guys can get a good idea of what you like, what you don't like. Let's go ahead and do the Westman Atelier iPod Trio. This is the packaging, and it comes like this, and you get a little pouch to put these in, and it has a little drawstring, and these are actually magnetics. You can stack them. I think the point of that, so you kind of keep this all together, you don't lose them, and you can just drop them in your little pouch. So that's kind of neat. My only thing is, I knew these were small. I think these could have easily fit into like a flat eyeshadow trio thing. I know trio eyeshadows, like quads or like palettes, are not super popular. She could have picked another shade and just done a flat palette, like a small palette. I think that probably would have made more sense. Because something like this, I don't know. Would you rather have a flat palette or like something round like this? I mean, I suppose it doesn't really make too much a difference in taking up space. I just think in terms of like time, you know, you have to open up all the lids. And I don't know, it's just interesting. I liked the packaging. I like that it is different. You know, having these separate little eyeshadows. I think it's a novel idea, but in reality every day, like, you have to keep track of these three and put them together. And these are not like weird shaped eyeshadows, like they're regular circles that, you know, can kind of be put side by side. So I don't know, it's an interesting concept, but let's go ahead and do swatches just so you guys can get an idea. Now there is another version of these iPods that I believe have like a black shade in it, so it's a little more for nighttime maybe. This is the lightest shade, and this is Neige, and looks like that on my finger, kind of a shiny, highlighty, kind of icy white shade, not so much silver but just more white. Can't really see that well. This has kind of a moussey, not a moussey, a bouncy texture, like a cream to powder. This one is to back. They feel really soft. This is not like a super exciting shade. Man, this feels so bouncy. It's like a nice tan, right? Very wearable. And then our deepest shade is Chocolat. A deep, rich brown. Also very soft. Bouncy texture. So those were like double swatches, right? If you want to go sheer, you can, like more sheer on your eyes, you definitely can. But those are the three shades from Westman Atelier. So the triple, this is $88 for 3 eyeshadows. I think a lot of the cost is this packaging, which is cute. Like, these are really adorable. But $88 for 3 eyeshadows is a lot of money. I mean, I think this is pretty. I've always wanted to try it. I'm gonna do a separate video on this, but my first impression, like, I'm not sure these 3 eyeshadows are worth $88. I mean, at least with Tom Ford, I think they're like the same, his quads are the same price, but at least you get another eyeshadow. That's just my thoughts. Maybe I'm crazy. Speaking of Tom Ford, let's do the First Frost palette. Look how pretty this is. And you'll notice these 2 shades look very similar to these 2, but I believe these are more sparkly. So let's go in this order. Start with the lightest shade first, which is so pretty. Oh, these feel so nice. I love Tom Ford for the most part. Not every palette is a win, but look at that. A little bit more off-white, a little bit more gold. Look at that. Another swatch. Double swatch there, very pretty. Let's go into this pink shade. I love the way this shade looks. It's like a golden pink. Ooh. Oh yeah, love a shade like that. Super pretty. Then we have our darkest shade in the palette. These feel so good. So none of these are matte. They all have a sheen to them, some more than others. Like this white shade has the most sparkle to it, probably. This one doesn't have quite as much, but you can see it's definitely a satin. Very pretty. And then our last shade here is kind of a neutral tone. A little bit lighter than this guy. But wow. Look at those swatches. So you can see some similarities between these 2. They complement each other. But the First Frost, if you like more of a satin, shimmery vibe, this is a really good palette. I'm glad I picked this up just from the swatches alone. I like what I see so far. And they feel good. So I'm a fan of that. You know, sometimes people prefer to see swatches on fingers versus on skin. You get the kind of more concentrated effect on the fingers. I forgot, this is considered complexion. The Shade and Illuminate palette, I definitely forgot about this. So let's quickly do a swatch of this bronzer contour. You can see how wet it is. Definitely a cream, looks like a fudgesicle. And I'll go ahead and swatch that. Wow, look at that. So I don't know if this is supposed, I think this is contour because it's called shade. It's very creamy though. I don't know if I'm gonna like this, to be honest. I think it could be a little bit drier. I don't know, that shade might work for me. And then the highlighter, I think, is actually fairly similar to the Westman Atelier, and that it's very natural and more about shine than color. You can see, maybe not as well, how creamy it is. Lots of shine. This is supposed to be a really like pretty glass-like, mirror-like finish. I actually think you can see this better than the Westman Atelier. Oh, I'm mixing products here. Sorry, guys. Let's go over here. Yeah, you know, you can just see that a little bit better. So it has this like white shimmery shine to it, but on the skin I think it's pretty subtle as well. A lot of people love this though. Maybe I'll change my mind if once I see it on this like a makeup face. But just kind of on my arm, I don't know. I think I can see it a little bit better than the Westman Atelier, but I don't know. Interesting, weird product. I mean that in like the best possible way. It's always good to be a little bit different, because we all don't want the same things in our makeup. Okay, last palette. Finally, the Soft Cashmere Quint. You guys have seen this. This is all around YouTube. Not super exciting. But when I swatched this last night, I was impressed. So let's start with the shiny taupe shade. This looks on the cooler side, and I think it is. Yeah. Got a lot of silver in it. Ooh, that is so pretty. It's brown and silver and taupey and wonderful. Next we have this white glittery shade here. Definitely the shade with the most sparkle in the palette, but still really wearable. It's not like super thick, doesn't have a lot of color behind it, but has a lot of shine and sparkle. Then we have one matte shade here, this deep brown. It feels really buttery. Ooh, look how impactful that is. Nice, good, solid color there. I think wasn't the best swatch. This next shade looks like a satin that just has a hint of shine to it. Actually, it has quite a bit of shine. That's a satin. And then the middle shade here, I think it's also a satin. It feels really buttery though. And this one is a little bit warmer. So probably the warmest tone of the palette. I know what happened. I put the brown shade over the white shade because I couldn't see it that well. So that's why the swatch got messed up. Sorry guys. Let me just redo the white shade over here. Sorry about that. this is the palette. This shade is a little bit deep for me. I could have used maybe a color in here, because I mean these are all very different shades, and I think, you know, once I put them on my eye I might change my mind. But it's a very beautiful, very wearable neutral palette that isn't too warm. I think a lot of us pale skin, pink skin leaning people are gonna really enjoy this palette, and I see why it's very popular, very wearable. But I shouldn't have swatched that. You can see like I went on kind of a neutral basic palette eyeshadow spree in this order. But I think they're different enough. They have different finishes. Like this has a lot of sheen to it. Some of these colors have a sheen. You know, a lot of browns happening here. And then the eye pods, you got a light, you got a medium brown, and a dark brown. So definitely within the same realm. Last but not least, the body product. So Necessaire. I have the body wash, the Sandalwood one, and I really like it. It's a gel body wash, has AHA, so it exfoliates your skin chemically instead of physically, which I don't love scrubs. I think they make a mess. Unless the particles are really fine, whether it be for the face or the body, I'm just not a fan. I like to be pretty gentle with my skin. So the Necessaire, the body serum, this doesn't have any acids in the product, so besides hyaluronic, which is not going to do anything bad for your skin, it's going to hydrate your skin. I kind of thought this also had some like acids in it that exfoliate, but it doesn't. So it's just a hydrator that you can add to your body lotion, or you can just use it by itself. And this has glycerin, coconut, alkanes, niacinamide, ceramides, and I think those are like the ingredients that they highlight in this product. I really like the packaging. This pump. So this is like a clear gel for your body. May not sound like super exciting or super appealing, but we use this stuff on our face all the time, like a hydrating serum or gel or moisturizer. We kind of use this stuff on our face all the time, but we don't think about adding this to our routine. So you could just use this by itself, or you could layer lotion on top, and it's just gonna add an extra layer of hydration with the hyaluronic acid. And what I like about it is how light it is and how quickly it absorbs. It does mention some like plumping action. I don't really know about that. I haven't used it too much, and I don't really know what it's going to plump, but it says hydrate, replenish, plump. Has hyaluronic acid, vitamin B3, vitamin B5, ceramides. It has a pH of 4.5 to 5.5, fragrance free. It's just like a layer of hydration that absorbs like almost instantly. If you have people in your life that do not like body lotion, they hate the feeling of it, no matter what the kind is, the brand, it feels sticky, they can't stand it, they may not love this, because it's different. Like, it's just a light little layer, no greasy feeling, it doesn't smell. I think the only downside is how expensive this is. 150 milliliters is not a huge amount of product to hydrate your body, but some of us just want an extra boost to our lotion. Maybe you have a favorite lotion, but certain times of the year you just want a little bit more hydration to it. You can add this to it, or you can put this first and then put your lotion. And it's just a layering product. That's what I think of it as. But I like the huge pump, simple packaging. I think it's a cool concept. Alright, that is like my overview of my Sephora haul. I have a lot of eyeshadow to try, that's all I know. Alright, let me know what you guys are planning to pick up or have already picked up from the Sephora sale. It's an exciting time of year. I know when I got this package, it definitely lifted my spirits. I was excited to open up and swatch everything and just try new stuff. So, comment below if you have any questions. Click the thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.